everyone, I'm Heather with Tropica Exotica, and in today's video we'll be talking about spiritual awakening. We're just going to have an overview for today, so it's going to kind of be a short video, but stay tuned because I'll be going into more detail in subsequent videos. So in today's video, what I want to talk about is what spiritual awakening is. So spiritual awakening is basically an awakening to your true soul, who you really are. It's an awakening to remembering exactly who you are as a soul. So although it's happening collectively across the board to everyone, it's still an individual process. And that process, although there are certain key things that happen, it's really something that's an individual process. So everybody's journey is a little different. So some people maybe have a more dramatic spiritual awakening, such as a Kundalini awakening, which is what happened to me. And for others, it can be just a feeling that starts out with a feeling of discontent. And then, of course, there's others that are born awake, and although that's more rare, it does happen. So as you can see, we're all kind of experiencing different ways that we start to grow spiritually. And so today what I really want to talk about is just a few basic things that happen. So one of the things that you'll start to notice is you may just, start to have these emotions that you don't know where they're coming from. It could be anything from just sadness or anxiety, but it kind of just comes out of nowhere. And then another thing that you'll start to notice is you may start to have odd sleeping patterns. You may start waking up at 2 in the morning or, just unable to sleep for hours on end. And then another thing that happens is you might start to feel disconnected from people that you used to be friends with and hang out with. All of a sudden it just becomes that, you feel like you don't want to be around them anymore, and you don't really understand why, but all of a sudden you just don't feel like you get along with them anymore. A couple of other things that you're going to experience are a lot of fatigue and anxiety. I know that's something that as an empath I really have struggled with all my life, really. But that's another sign that this could be what you're going through. And then another thing that you want to think about are sensitivities to foods, to alcohol, and even to different products that you might use on your body, even materials. Those are symptoms just because as you become more aware spiritually that your body becomes more in tune, and so you may start to your body might start to reject certain foods. Another thing that you will notice are some physical symptoms, but I'm going to hold off on talking about those until another video because that's a quite extensive list. And then another thing that you might experience are questioning where you are in your life, maybe your career path. Maybe all of a sudden you decide that, this isn't me anymore, so that might leave you feeling a little discontent. Another thing that you may notice are vivid dreams. And again, I plan on talking about this in more detail as we go through and talk about this in depth. And then another thing that you might experience these are all related to third eye opening, is you may become more aware of spiritual, supernatural events such as seeing entities. You may start to see energy, you may see auras around people. You may start to have out-of-body experiences. You may become more telepathic. You may start to hear voices. So those are just a few of the things that you might also experience as you go through this process. So what I want to talk about is, exactly how can I help you? Because I know for me it was a very difficult process, and so with this channel, I plan to kind of go through things that I learned about and that helped me, and so that hopefully that will help you. I know that for my process, it was pretty scary because with my Kundalini awakening, my third eye opened and I was having a lot of experiences that I could not figure out what was happening, and I was getting scared. I was afraid to go to sleep at night. I couldn't get those experiences to stop. I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know what to Google. So it was a very difficult process for me. And so, you know, as you go through this, you'll find that you are consciously or unconsciously starting to be drawn to people who are more in alignment with who you are, and so they can help you. And I think that overall that's been the one thing that helped me the most, was finding other like-minded individuals, because as you go through this process, it can create a sense of isolation and a sense of loneliness, because all of a sudden you have all this inner turmoil and you don't really know what to do, because you just kind of feel like your world's being turned upside down. And so, you know, as we go through these different topics, hopefully I will be able to provide some resources and tools to help you along this journey. So stay tuned. We're going to continue these conversations, and I'm looking forward to talking to you and getting to know you better through this process. Thank you. Bye-bye.